I don't understand any of why you don't trust me.
Let me
Hey,
tell you something. Oh, hey, we're live.
we are. Hey, let's do the intro. And we're live.
Hey, it's my gimmick.
I know it's called a tribute.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, go on.
And we're live watching. No, you're watching. We're not watching. Because that would be weird to watch ourselves.
Well, no,
Uh,
technically we are watching. Am I like you? I'm watching Richie.
Yeah,
I'm
I
watching
can see
you.
you. I can see myself.
Yeah, I mean we are watching it as we do it, so it does count.
okay. Um, we're starting off great. Um,
It's a banger.
so
Of fourth episode.
fourth episode, and it's only been 2 weeks this time.
Whoa.
I know. Who's the third guy, Austin? I'll tell you. That third guy is Richie. He decided to join us today. Richie, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, talk about wrestling. I never really talk about that, so I never get an opportunity to talk about that. So I'm glad I get a podcast to talk about it. No, I don't talk about it all the time, but yeah.
Well, if you like wrestling discussions every few weeks to a month, this is the place for you.
Cool.
Yeah. Missed last week. Life just gets in the way sometimes, you know. So, but all is good now because we're back. Jordan doesn't only talk wrestling; he also lives it. Jordan, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's coming off the Platinum Pro shows last weekend. We're gonna do some more Platinum Pro this weekend, as well as Real Pro Red on Saturday. Out at the New Japan show on Sunday. Yeah,
And you were just at an AEW show. How was that?
I was there live for the a couple weeks ago, the debut of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Let's see what happened. Wardlow promo. We got Paige and Dante. The debut of Swerve on Rampage. The Rampage taped the same night. Yes, if you watched it, rewatch it again. Look for John Moxley's entrance, and you'll see this guy in his nice yellow shirt, trying to also film myself at the same time as Moxley rushes right by me. So yes, you got to pay me more, Jacob. I'm a TBS superstar.
Uh, I haven't paid you yet.
That's why double zero is still zero.
Yeah, no, I watched the clips on YouTube because I am busy when the show is live, so I don't always watch it live. And I'm like, oh, I'll just watch the clips. They put the best stuff on there anyway. And I was like, hey, I know that guy, not personally, only through this, but I know him.
But yes, I've never missed an episode of Dynamite. I've seen every single one.
Same here.
So you, we have somebody else to watch out for.
Yes. Pez was just telling me he will also be hard cam 10th row up on next week's Dynamite and Rampage. So look out for him, and you'll have to start paying Pez more too.
I remember when they first came back and did crowds. I think it was in maybe Miami or somewhere in Florida. I right smack bang in the middle. I saw Steve Mesa in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh no, that was the other one. But yeah, I was at the first Miami one with a DDP.
Yeah.
Did he try to sell you any yoga?
No, but I've done the DDP yoga. I do recommend it. And because of my friend Slim, I had a one-on-one phone call with DDP once, which was pretty cool. Nice guy. And then also at a WrestleCon, DDP looked me in the eyes and said, "Hey, where's the fucking promoter? I need my money." It was also a true DDP story. And I was just there like, I'm just buying tickets, sir. Paige, I don't know who the promoter is.
And I know that fact because I got it right in the quiz. That's why Jordan and I are best friends.
Best friends, because you know me more than anyone, including people that physically know me for 10 years.
Because I got less than 50% of the questions right.
It's all you needed. Shout out to Will, not knowing me at all.
Yeah, when we did that, I was I was unaware of what was happening. You're like, I'm just gonna ask 50 questions, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try my best to answer them. And I ended up getting them right, and what a beautiful friendship this has turned out to be.
And I said, one day we'll podcast every once in a while.
And we will podcast. First, it'll be every 4 months, then everything, and now we're gonna start to get more consistent.
Thursdays, maybe, unless things come up.
Yeah, like unfortunate things.
Life does happen. Life does happen. It happens.
Oh, shoot, Jordan, why didn't you tell me?
Yes, me and Papa Wedge can catch us as the Fun Uncles playing some trivia. We are undefeated. Don't fact check that.
The Fun Uncle. So could I call you the Funkles?
The Funkles, yeah.
I like it and dislike it all at once. I don't know. I can't stop you.
Okay. Nobody else can call you that. Just me. And now Richie, because he already heard. He heard it also.
All right,
and also everyone that's watching. So Austin also. But just
Jacob.
us. Other than that, no one else.
No one else. You heard it here, folks. It's patented pending with Jacob Barber. Brutus's son.
Jacob, the Beefcake Barber. That is me. So yeah, what do you think of Dynamite this week? Because you said you never missed an episode.
Yes, Dynamite this week. Great opener. CM Punk defeating Dax Harwood. Great stuff there. We got more Hardy brothers. Oh yeah, I was there, of course, when Jeff Hardy debuted. I love the fact that Jeff Hardy had to dance for a little while before to save his brother. Like if your brother's in peril, maybe step it up a little bit, rush a little bit more. But
that's like what brothers do, though, right? It's like it's kind of like real life. Like, hey, nobody messes with my brother except for me. Get off of him. I'll be there in a minute, Matt.
Yeah. Like he's like, Matt can handle this for a little while. Yeah, it's so cool that they got to keep their music too. That was a surprise for a lot of people. Yeah. Just assuming that WWE had that copyrighted. I know I definitely have heard it in commercials and other things. So I guess it's just one of those either freeform or they snuck in and bought it. However that worked. So yeah, fun 8-man tag there. Let's see. John Moxley, Bryan Danielson continue their tag team partnership, defeating Varsity Blondes.
And they're now got a name. I think the Blackpool. Is it the Blackpool?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah. Yes, there you go. Yes, which of course right away, and if you have the Pro Wrestling Tees email subscription, T-shirt available now. They do not waste time. Those AEW guys on making T-shirts. So you can buy that
future
T-shirt
trivia
now.
Question coming from Jordan.
It will be someday. My boy Jay Lethal, who I fired once in Tampa Bay Pro, took on Adam Cole. That was a good one. Adam Cole winning there. Layla Hirsch defeating Red Velvet. And then in your main event, the Jericho Appreciation Society, the JAS, Jericho and Daniel Garcia defeated John Silver and Alex Reynolds in your main event. I like the new group. I'm surprised that in the new group, like Daniel Garcia screams very much to be a pro wrestler and not a sports entertainer, which is funny.
I think
that he's in the sports entertainer group. But
yeah,
I'll see where it goes.
I haven't watched the main event. I might be in the minority here. I'm not feeling the new group right now. I know it's early, it's new, but
yeah,
it's like
I don't know. I think they're all right.
Yeah, I'm not over the moon, but I'm definitely in a wait and see approach. They're all talented guys. I don't mind more 2.0. I don't know. It's funny. They're like, those are fake names by bad gimmicks, and then they're like, he's Big Magic so and so, and I'm like, that also sounds weird.
I think that's supposed to be the idea, isn't it? Like he's supposed to be ironic. It's supposed to be
bad idea from stupid creative.
I will say that the one thing I didn't gel with was like I don't know, like I like Nyla Rose, but why does she always have to be the first challenger to a new championship?
And also, somebody pointed out earlier too. Can we get a promo that's not interrupted? Like that is definitely a trope that Tony Khan loves, or whoever's booking it, those exact segments. Like you just wait for it now. Just like, oh, someone's talking. Who's gonna interrupt? Jonathan makes a good point of like this really could have just been a moment. Let it finish, even if you want Nyla Rose coming afterwards, like doing the eye thing or whatever, or wait a week for it. It just seemed like that's very as a certain Cornette says, lazy booking. It's just okay. We got to have her jumper. There's your match. I wasn't surprised. I mean, who would you suggest? Maybe going for that title. I would have been okay with maybe like a Mercedes Martinez or something. Like
Serena Deeb.
Deeb, yeah, true. I love me some Deeb. Yeah, that could have been good. That person also agrees, Steve. Interruptions.
Speaking of interruptions.
I don't know about that. AEW loves that interruption thing, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it is a wrestling thing. I'm sure RBW's done it many times. Jacob Barber's Federation, EPWF,
Extreme,
Pacific,
predictable.
Actually, the person, one person I would want to get, like, because she never got. I thought they were starting a feud, but they didn't. Abaddon. Like, you remember when Abaddon had that mini feud with like Britt Baker? And I thought that was going to lead to somewhere, and it didn't.
I'm still not sold on Abaddon, so
I don't know. She freaks the shit out of me, but she's still she's good.
Speaking off air about Ryzen, her and Ryzen would have been a great little twofer.
Who's number one in the rankings? Isn't that what they're supposed to be going by?
Oh yeah, true. Is it Nyla?
Might be Nyla.
I'm gonna look it up right now. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the. I think I was talking to my friend. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the way they kind of do their rankings, in the sense that like I feel like Dark, the wins on Dark and Dark Elevation count too much. It's like you beat a nobody.
It's a super simple way of pumping up those rankings. I think I've said it here on this exact show. Think about it. Scorpio Sky didn't do jack on Dynamite for
but he's like, I haven't lost in a year
for the longest time. He's like, I haven't lost. It's like, you haven't wrestled by yourself in a year. But he was AEW number one contender for that TNT title. Same thing with Nyla. Nyla's just been murdering people in Dark. She hasn't really had these strong Dynamite matches, but she's murdering people in Dark. Like the week week I was there for Dark, she beat up my girl Catalina Perez. So so they're not lying when they say she's had all those wins. Who's number one, Jacob?
Serena Deeb is number one.
Well, Serena Deeb should be the channel.
Nyla Rose is number two. I wonder if Serena Deeb's going after the TBS championship then.
No, Deeb's such a cocky heel. She can't fight cocky heel Jade.
You can do heel versus heel if you book it right.
It's tough, man. You can.
It's a lot easier to do face versus face, I think.
It's an argument I have personally sometimes, even when like mapping out cards myself. You got to do it right, and like it is hard where it's like, who are you supposed to care as a fan? You could turn Serena slightly, you know what I mean? Because I think Jade's definitely the very established heel in that case. But like then you're derailing everything you just set up with Serena, with the whole 5-minute challenge thing and whatnot. So
yeah, and I don't think her feud with the Cheetah's finished, really, is it?
Yeah, when are we gonna wrap that up? That feels like that's been on the back burner.
I think going on for like about 6 months.
Schedules or what, but that does feel like that should have been done like a month or two ago.
Speaking of like sort of terms, I guess it seems pretty obvious to me that FTR is turning babyface.
Yeah, I meant to say that earlier when going over the match. Yeah, very much hinting that they could be going babyface. Kind of a letdown with Pinnacle, by the way. If you really think about their history as a group. Didn't really do much together. They started off doing stuff together with obviously Inner Circle and the big Blood and Guts match, but really after that, half the time they were with other people or by themselves, and kind of a letdown of a group where that could have been so much more. Especially now that it seems like we're really done with that group. We're done with Wardlow, obviously, and now it seems like we might be done with FTR in that group.
And also, I mean, I hope that they've been teasing this. Hopefully, they've been teasing Bret Hart being the manager. So it might. We'll see.
Oh, is that what you're thinking? Oh, okay, good, because they did stuff.
Yeah, like with the sharpshooter, they're always mentioning Hearts, and yeah.
Do you think Tully could come back with somebody else though? I don't. The way they've been talking about it, I almost feel like Tully's not done. That was just my guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll come back with someone else. Like I think they know how to use their legends really well. So I think he'll come back with someone else.
We got a question for you, Richie.
To answer Austin's question, I watch it on Fight TV. I got AEW.
Yeah, you have an app, right? You can just pay for the Fight TV app.
Yeah.
I do hope that they get an app themselves, whether it's themselves or pumping up on HBO Max, because as much as I love their pay-per-views, they're expensive.
I think that.
Well, it took WWE like 30 years, so.
No, don't tell me to take 30 years. No, but the technology simply wasn't there, you know.
I thought maybe the acquisition of Ring of Honor had something to do with that. Like, so that have.
I mean, I know like you had the Ring of Honor Club, so I don't know if they would look into just trying to expand that. Because like I'd pay a nice chunk. I'd definitely go more than 5. I'd go even up to like the $15, 20, even like if you're giving me AEW, Ring of Honor, like if they group together with a couple of different groups, Impact kind of tried where like it was Impact and a couple of other smaller places like Ethan Page's promotion, A1W, but like it didn't totally work. But I think if you had a couple of big names, I think you could easily get 10, if not 15 for it.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to pay $9.99.
I would like to. I'm just trying to think of them monetizing the most money that they can, because I know it's great for my wallet, but you also do have to look at what's good for their wallet,
Yeah, no, I thought the WWE Network was a steal at $9.99.
Oh, I mean, as a fan who did not see every pay-per-view for sure, because you look at it and go like, listen, Armageddon, sorry, you're not worth it this month. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna cyber somewhere else and see if I can find a bootleg. So yeah, it was definitely like $9. No, it's got to be no way. Like $10, you get the archives, you get some new stuff. I hope AEW would actually benefit to grab some. Yeah, I'm surprised Netflix dipped with Lucha Underground for a hot second. I'm surprised more companies. I'm surprised Hulu doesn't reach out to like Freddie Prinze Jr. and is like, fucking do something. We'll give you X amount like we give for a normal show. I'm surprised more don't. I think AEW has proven that there is a fan base out there that's not, it's not conglomerated just by WWE. I would love for there to be like something exclusive on there,
Yeah. Here's a good question. Over under 50% that we see more members of Blackpool Combat Club.
Well, yeah, Willa Yuta. For sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it becoming a faction, not just a tag team. They've
I think
the idea slaps is in.
I think the idea is for them to feud. It seems obvious. It's a very idea is for them to feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society. So
they even mentioned in one of his first promos, Lee Moriarty. Like, there's options out there of guys that are like true athletes, true wrestlers, kind of. If you want, I think you could even go maybe throw FTR in there. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about just really good technical wrestlers, like if you want to put them face and give them a little bit of a rub face wise. So yeah, I mean, now that they've already teased Yuta up front. Like, it's definitely, I think, going to be a faction. Tony loves factions. Everybody's in a faction. Sometimes there's factions of a faction.
I think one of the things that factions don't do that enough, which I think is silly. Like, if you're a faction, you'd think, okay, we're going to go after every title, but they never have any women in the faction. So I think Layla Hirsch would be great.
Layla Hirsch. I mean, you can go back to Diva, as we said, but Hirsch might be really good. Yeah, I agree. Definitely, there's not enough that have a mix so far, it seems. So yeah, I like that idea. I know there's a comment coming, but you looked insane before you wrote the comment.
I was trying to pull my inner Joker.
For a match. I know maybe this is just wishful thinking. Part of me does kind of hope like maybe one Regal 6-man tag. Like we threw Tully in there, we threw DDP in there. Can we get a Regal tag? Maybe like a Regal match.
They convinced Sting to jump off balconies. I'm sure they could.
Sting's still jumping off. Sting went off the top rope on Wednesday. The thing.
I was like, "What? You're 63."
This dude was retired in like 2017 after his Rollins match.
I was so disappointed that they couldn't land that he couldn't land that counter on Wednesday, Sting, when they were gonna they were doing the gin and juice and he kind of slipped. Oh, that would have been so cool. If it was like, I understand you're 60 years old, but so I'm not as disappointed as I would be if it was like,
good job, Steve.
AJ Styles or something. No, Sting, you could never disappoint me. I love you. Fun fact: I dressed up as Sting for Halloween in 4th grade.
Nice. You sure it wasn't the Crow?
The Crow Sting, Wolfpack Sting.
It was the Crow Sting. They wouldn't let me wear the mask here. They're like, "Oh, no mask at school." I was like, "But it's better than my real face." I didn't like myself as a kid. Nothing, and things don't change. What's the likelihood of an Adam Page and Jurassic Express?
Quick segue.
What's it like? I would say very, very minimal. I don't know. I think I think that people can be friends in AEW, but they don't have to be in a faction necessarily.
I was gonna say I don't see that happening at all. I could see Paige turning on the Dark Order and like being a heel in that case, but like, I don't see that was just a one-off to get to. Oh, Paige is not going with his friends; he's going with the champions. He's kind of choosing,
I feel like Christian fills that mental role, but I feel like he's going to turn on Jurassic Express at some point.
Oh, you think so? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's true, Austin. There are already 8,000 factions in AEW. 13,000 if you count the sub factions.
What happened to Marco Stunt? Where the hell has he gone?
No, Marco's in that group with Janela and earlier Big Swole of contracts are up. They're not renewing them. Obviously, I can look it up, but Stun has been around in forever. And once Christian came, he really lost his spot.
Yeah, no, they just pretended Marco Stunt was never in the group.
I believe there was something about him going to The Voice. He was trying out for The Voice. But I don't watch The Voice. I'm more about the listen than The Voice. The Grunt. That's the show I want to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen. Marco was last on a Dynamite in March of 2021, so it's been a full year.
It's been a year
since he's been on Dynamite. And then as far as even a Dark, it's been since September. He teamed with actually Fuego del Sol, losing to Sean Spears and Wardlow. So there's obviously he's done with the company. He's done a lot less in general, like even outside of that for indies. He's only wrestled 4 times since that Dark. Twice for GCW. So maybe he is looking into other endeavors. Maybe for the time being, not trying to get hurt so he can be on The Voice. Who knows?
Yeah. I did find it weird that the Dark Order didn't come to help Adam Page. He was getting jumped. Am I reading too much into that, or was it just they were getting ready because they had a match, right? Dark Order, were they in the main event?
Yeah, they're in the main event. Yeah, Silver and Reynolds.
But there's like 18 members, so there 16 couldn't come help him.
I do feel like it's inconsistent sometimes where they're like, you establish that people are friends and they've got each other, but it's like there are sometimes where they're like, no, I'm just going to stay in the back. It's like, okay.
Well, I was even surprised. So week 1 with the one I was at with Danielson and Moxley, they fought JD Drake and Anthony Henry, and they were billed as the Workhorsemen, which is their Indian tag name. And I was like, isn't JD Drake in the other group? JD Drake with Avalon, like, so wait, he's in that. And then like there'll be other times too where like FTR will team up with like Andrade, and I'm like, don't you already have teammates? Like, what's going on? Yeah, it's weird that they'll do even split offs of the split.
Yeah. Speaking of Andrade, what's next for him? Are they done with the Hardys? Is that done? You guys think?
No, because they haven't even done him in a Hardy. Like if you think about it this week,
Andrade's
not even in the match. Yeah, I mean we haven't seen the blow off with Andrade himself, unless that was just to simply get the Hardys made and now they're done, which I guess could happen. But no, I think we're gonna finally have some sort of I don't even know. Did we have like a big one-on-one Andrade Derby match? Does that happen?
That's happening next week, I think.
Oh, there you go. I knew it.
Yeah, I knew they were in the triple threat with Guevara, but
I think that the issue with Andrade, I like Andrade, but he needs to win more. They need him. He's been losing a lot. I feel like they need to build him back up.
Who else needs to win more?
Easy fix if you want,
Yeah.
I feel like they sign all these big names and they debut them, and we're all excited, and then half of them sit on the sidelines after a month.
Yeah, Jay Lethal.
It happens, man. Even Jay Lethal's a great example of he came in, TNT title shot, and then he's had like a couple big matches since. This was probably his biggest match this past week. Jake Atlas was a big signee, and he's done nothing. Tony Nese is another one. Again,
Jake Atlas got injured, so he got injured.
Oh, he got injured again?
Yeah. And Adam, he had a match with Adam Cole and he got injured, so that's probably why he's.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And shout out to Adam Cole for switching the finish up, because you could tell. They were trying to do the real finish and he switched it up. And
I do have that. Maybe the wrestlers they don't use, and there is a kind of, it does seem that it's gone that way. Like where some of the wrestlers they don't use, I'll just use on Ring of Honor. You've got I think there's the upcoming show, Ring of Honor show. You got Jay Lethal and Lee Moriarty wrestling, and
when was that announced? I didn't even see that.
A few days ago, but they're gonna be on the pay per view.
And it makes sense. I think I've said maybe on here before or elsewhere that like I think Ring of Honor's roster is going to be a little bit of maybe a couple of big names, a couple of names that aren't being used by AEW, and then other names they're looking at. I think is what we're going to end up getting here. You said Lee Moriarty, right? Jay Lethal Lee.
Yeah.
That I've said Lee Moriarty myself as like that makes sense for a Ring of Honor. It fits the style, and it fits my idea of AEW's not really doing anything with him right now. Let him maybe grow a little bit more over there, more exposure. It's still pretty decent exposure. More people watching the Ring of Honor than some other indies, so that does very much check out to me, But yeah, looking at Jay Lethal here, November 17th is his big first match with Sammy Guevara. That's November 17th. You don't see him again until a Battle Royal on December 8th. And then he fought Jay Lethal, or he fought Adam Cole last night in March. That's 3 months he went, 4 months if you don't include a Battle Royal. Like, that was a pay-per-view debut. That was a pay-per-view. Yeah. I'm here. And he's at two singles matches on Dynamite.
But then again, as my friend pointed out, well, watching it, it's because we haven't seen him in ages. But then, they advertised Jay Lethal and Adam Cole. Jay Lethal's got a 3 against his name. He's ranked 3. We haven't seen him. It doesn't make
because he's been beating. Because again, if you go now, same thing. Dark defeating Merrick Donovan, defeating Serpentico, defeating JD Drake, George Joel. He's been picking up a lot of wins just on
He's
YouTube.
7-1.
Yeah, shout out to Merrick Donovan, by the way. That was out in my show too. He's a former tag team champion for BW. I love Merrick.
Yeah. Sorry, COVID. Yeah, apparently Lance Archer is still number 1, so he's going to get another title shot, right?
I can imagine Dustin Rhodes coming up. They're kind of trying to cap off without obviously Cody being there, trying to cap off the Dan Lambert Rhodes feud without Cody actually being there. So I think that was the issue. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Lance Archer will win that match. But yeah.
Yeah, he'll move to 10-1. His only loss must have been to the champion.
Yeah.
He's been someone they've used twice now where he's doing nothing, world title match. He's doing nothing, world title match. They use him as a big challenge.
And he's also used as a champions in between big feuds, and they just need something, a buffer between the two. So they always bring in Lance Archer. They did it with John Moxley, and then they did it with Adam Page.
Yeah, he's a TV feud before the pay-per-view feud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the rankings, and they have Sammy Guevara second. Do you guys think he's going to transition to that world championship hunt, or do you think he's going to be a mid-card TNT guy for a while, not forever?
I could see if you turn Page, or if you have a heel champion, I could see him getting a shot. I don't know. I think he's got potential in a couple of years to be a pay-per-view champion or challenger. I could see him being like we just said with Hoyt or Archer rather. I could see him being Page's guy before the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? At St. Patrick's Day Slam 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Could you see him being the Dante Martin and just randomly getting a title shot after it? It's a big match, and it's gonna be good. I mean, his match.
Yeah, but that's one I think they would actually advertise because Dante Martin is very random, especially after his partner just came back too. That was kind of weird too, where it's he's back in the tag team, he's back in the singles. Oh, okay, I thought you're gonna go heavy with the tag team now, but I guess not. I think, I could think he's popular enough, and I think he's done. He's proven now from being kind of a mid card guy without a title to being a successful mid card guy with a title. So yeah, I think heavyweight is quite possible. I think it's something to test out. See if it moves the needle, as they say.
Just before Austin, I will say with Sammy Guevara, I think he was he was named the 2021 breakout star or whatever. I understand why they went with that. I don't know, but I feel like he'd already sort of broken down a bit. I would have gone with Wardlow personally. I know it's probably too early, but
Guevara kind of made fun of that.
Wardlow's just sitting at home now.
Yeah.
Wardlow's just sitting at home now. He's getting paid to stay home. He's the Mustafa Ali of AEW now.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Early predictions for what the May Double or Nothing big matches will be. I think it's obvious. Cole and Page again?
I think they'll get. I think they'll do that match before that. I think they'll do that match at Battle of the Belts.
Okay.
And then
See, they do so many special events too that I'm never sure. Like, is this just going to be a regular episode of Dynamite or a special episode of Dynamite?
No, it's just like it's hard. Yeah, it's like, oh, this Dynamite's called Bash It. Bash It beat this one. Yeah.
So what's it called, Richie? Battle of the Belts.
Battle of the Belts. They had, it's basically their version of Clash of Champions. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although the last one was kind of plagued.
Yeah. And then that's the last one where we had like Cody, Sammy Guevara won an interim title because Cody got COVID. But I don't know. They are hinting towards Adam Page and CM Punk.
I was saying Punk and Page. Okay, that's a big match that I think is coming sooner or later. Punk for the title.
Yeah, because after CM Punk beat Dax, he kind of did the Hangman thing, and then it was like that. And so you do at Adam Page and Cole at Battle of the Belts, but then you do you build towards CM Punk and Page at Double or Nothing. And I think
I do wonder, because I would say Page makes sense, but if you're going for a big first time match and not just a retread of another pay per view, it would make sense to maybe go Punk or somebody. Yeah.
As far as I don't know, it's hard to tell where the other championships would go. I
still think we're still not quite there yet. I mean, could we see Danielson and Moxley for the tag titles?
Yeah, possibly, or they're also building up House of Black, so I don't know if they're gonna be.
That would make sense too. Yeah, Malachi and Brody.
Yeah.
When do they introduce trios titles? You think that's coming?
But possibly. Do I think it's coming? There's a chance. Do I want it? Not necessarily.
Because I believe, if I remember correctly, I saw them when they were introducing House of Black. They showed a trios record.
They've done that on and off before, so that's not totally new.
Okay.
I've seen a trios record before. It's possible. I mean, especially time will tell too what exactly Ring of Honor is going to do. I know that it's already been rumored that those titles might be dead now. So if Ring of Honor is not doing it, Tony will be like, "Oh, we'll be the only company." It is something different. As long as it doesn't get too Ring of Honor, I feel like they always had a problem of one of the three getting injured or not being able to get booked, or I don't know about confirmed, Jacob. It's been rumored for a while because obviously from the get-go you could tell trios was a thing that they liked doing. So I think it's been rumored about for a while. So obviously not confirmed. Confirmed, would be different. So I think it's possible. I like it. It's at the same time. They would be the only ones if Ring of Honor stopped, but I just want to make sure there's time for it. You know what I mean? There's still times where things get overlooked, guys get overlooked. So
yeah, and also I don't know. You don't want too many titles because if there's too many titles, then eventually one title's not going to mean as much. I don't know.
Half the pay-per-view is either a title match card or B a title's getting overlooked.
Yeah. But it's very difficult to predict. It's not as easy as to be pay-per-view. It's very because they plan out they do quarterly sort of pay-per-views. It's really hard to. They're not really building towards it yet, so it's really hard to kind of determine what other matches would be on that card on Double or Nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think? No, I'm just spitballing here. Do you think? I think we're building towards it. Do you think once the Hardys are done with Andrade, do you think we get the Hardys versus Sting and Darby Allin? Could that be a Double or Nothing match?
My heart. So I've always found that to be a weird one, but I feel like it's one that they've hinted at for sure. There's been those looks of not just we got your back. There's been looks of oh, we kind of want to fight you. So yeah,
especially from Darby.
It's a star-studded match. It's another one where I'm kind of confounded by I mean, again, it's face. They've done it before, so who exactly am I rooting for? But it's a big enough match. You know what I mean? I think Sting and Hardy are overdue for having a good match. Get it? TNA reference.
Make up for 11 years ago.
Yeah. Make it longer than 12-second match. But no, so yeah, I feel like it's definitely been hinted at. It's not something I would have predicted right away, but I do feel like they've heavily kind of hinted at it. And yeah, that's a big enough match where put that on a pay-per-view. It would make sense. It'd have to be a special Dynamite or a pay-per-view to make that happen.
I will say one match is probably another match, but it's probably going to happen at Double or Nothing. MJF and Wardlow. I feel like that's probably Double or Nothing.
Yeah, that's a good safe bet. That's a good safe bet.
Yeah, Jonathan agrees with you. He says Warlord, but we know what he means.
No. Jonathan's a big Warlord fan, and he's waiting for that comeback.
He also says Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. As much as I would love to see those two go at it again, because I think their match was fantastic, I think Sammy and Ty Conti are going to be on like some mixed tag.
Don't forget Paige Van. Could be her and Sky against them. You know what I mean? Could make sense. That could definitely be a special Dynamite too. So we'll see. Definitely something like that will happen. Again, I just wonder, like, since we've seen it, will they go a singles match again?
Right. I mean, according to the rankings, we should be getting, if it's not Sammy Guevara, we should be getting Scorpio Sky versus Jay Lethal. He is third in the rankings.
Ooh, that'd actually be a good match if they built to it. Yeah, absolutely.
I will.
It'd be a good match if they don't build to it. I mean, they just do.
True. I mean, sometimes they don't.
There's another match, but I think that could happen at Battle of the Belts, and that's Ricky Starks versus Keith Lee.
Ooh.
I feel like
there's definitely something with those two. I think Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs could be a pay-per-view match too.
Yeah.
Like get by Starks on a show and then go to them at a pay-per-view or something. Yeah. I feel like they're hinting towards both.
I'm still on board after seeing them at Revolution that I want Keith Lee and Hobbs as a tag team. I know it's not going to happen, but
give it time.
In my fantasy booking world,
Hobbs is definitely somebody, and we've seen it already when he debuted. Like, you can make that dude a face. You can. So, like, down the line, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even
also,
Keith Lee.
Swerve versus Keith Lee.
Maybe. Well, Keith Lee and Swerve is a good. I thought that'd be a decent tag team as well. I'm like, this is.
They've already hinted that that's going to be a match we're going to get sooner or later. Is that tag Keith Lee and Swerve versus Starks and Hobbs?
Yeah.
I know I just said Hobbs and Keith Lee as a tag team. I actually think AEW is getting to the point where they don't need any more tag teams. Like they've already got the best tag team division. Build what you have. I mean, Red Dragon isn't even. They're not even ranked. I'm looking at the rankings. They're not even ranked. They're not one of the top 6 teams.
Where are the ass boys?
Because
number 2.
Yeah, I would actually. It seems like where they're going is maybe the Battle of the Belts, or maybe I think it's Jurassic Express and Red Dragon. So, but Red Dragon's not ranked, so that'd be weird. Okay.
The rankings are there just as a suggestion. Let's not forget, guys.
Right? Oh yeah, Dante Martin got a world championship match. So,
I also assume at Double or Nothing because it's a big deal, and they're booking him pretty well, pretty steadily. I think it could we see Hook. Like actually in a bigger match.
Is Hook a heel or a face? I'm not sure because he's part of he's part of Taz's group, which is definitely a heel group.
Yeah, he's a heel. We're cheering, man. That's what he is.
I think he's a heel that like got over way more than they expected, so they're just kind of going with him as a baby.
Guys, I've got some breaking news. It's not Raw. It's not AEW. Cody Rhodes is here on this show. Cody, where are you going to appear next? All right, I got the scoop, y'all, but he won't tell you.
Okay.
Why did I buy this? I have problems.
It's a late purchase.
It's okay. Nightmare Alley is available on HBO Max, right? I have HBO Max. What did I buy today? Nightmare Alley.
I bought the Blu-ray.
I did.
Did it come with a digital copy?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
We'll talk later.
All right, we'll talk later.
This isn't a podcast about movies. This is a podcast about wrestling.
Well, Bradley Cooper was in Reading Crashers with Vince Vaughn, who was in Arkansas with Clark Duncan or Michael Clark, who wore a lot of wrestling T-shirts. There, 6 degrees.
You didn't want to go fighting with my family with the
damn! I overthought it. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't have it planned. You know, I remember reading an early synopsis where it was IMDb or someone had Vince Vaughn credited as Jake the Snake Roberts.
That'd be weird.
I remember reading that going like, where does Jake fit into the Page story? What the hell? And I was waiting for like a year for him to be Jake the Snake Roberts with like the hair and the mustache.
All right. If Vince Vaughn had to portray any wrestler, past or present, who would it be?
Vince Vaughn? Can he? Okay. Can I twist it just a tiny bit? Vince Vaughn is Vince McMahon.
All right. Are they making a biopic of him?
Yeah. This was Bradley Cooper. No.
It was like John. Was it John Hamm or was it Bradley Cooper?
That was Bradley Cooper. And then it was Chris Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan was also in the works, I thought.
And according to Jacob West, Johnny Gargano for Joker.
What?
The Casino Battle Royal.
Oh, okay. We're talking movies and casting. I'm like, what a weird call for Johnny Gargano to be casted as the Joker.
I had to find the segue somewhere.
You know, if you had asked me a couple months ago, I would have said Gargano sticks around. That like he's having a baby, let him be dad, and then he'll be back to NXT. But unless there's already been some promises, because like now the thing is like, okay, is Ciampa leaving or going to the main roster? Because he's already kind of hinted like, what else can I do here? Santa delivers his last match probably with D'Angelo, so we're gonna see whether he's main roster or gone. But the way they've treated, like Roderick Strong has become a jobber. Kyle O'Reilly felt he had to leave, so I don't know about Gargano. Could he be the Joker? Yeah, there's a shot for sure.
Can I put? This is maybe a bit of a long shot, but I'll predict one person being the Joker. Bray Wyatt.
I mean, he's a big enough name to where if he was willing, I don't see why they wouldn't grab him. I know there's obviously the argument of they have enough, but he's a big enough name to where like you find room to sign him. But now you want it. Now you want Johnny Gargano for the Joker now. I mean,
have y'all seen that?
Why so serious?
By the way, I know this isn't about movies, but have y'all seen the deleted scene from The Batman?
Yeah, I watched it right before the movie trivia live on the Pierce Go channel. And
we do plugs at the end.
I'm a co-host. I can do what I want.
Shoot. Jonathan. I don't think it's been 90 days, or did his contract just expire?
No, his contract expired.
That it was an expired. He could pop up on Dynamite a week ago, kind of thing. So, I don't know about Cirso, but Cesaro would be cool. Sorry,
but also we're assuming it's going to be like all men Casino Battle. What if it's a women? Like
Yeah, we are. I was going to say too. They flip flop before, so it might be. Well, was women's last year though? With Ruby?
Yeah, it was.
So maybe men's again. But yeah, I mean, if it's women's, then obviously there's a whole nother discussion. I mean, there's a lot of people in the docket there. Tegan Knox. Who knows? Ember Moon would be sweet. Mia Yim would be cool. Like, there's still women on the docket for sure. Honestly, men's Casino Battle Royal, Triple H. He's like, I'm sick of this water.
What is Terra Rising doing here?
They probably own Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's had to be.
Especially the dynamic. If Triple H went to AEW, like Cody's in WWE, it'd be like, what the hell? What's going on?
I got subtracted. What were we talking about?
Do you think is Seth Rollins' opponent at WrestleMania going to be Cody Rhodes?
Yes.
It feels like that, yes.
I feel like they've already done the talking segment with Austin, so it's got to be a match. Whether we'll get Cody on Monday or they'll just tease it, and I think they're going to wait till Mania before it's like super official, or even like we'll find it like official as in it's going to be Cody in the ring kind of thing. So
like a John Cena Undertaker from WrestleMania. What was it?
Kind of, yeah.
30, yeah.
I was going to say too, if you really want eyes on Ring of Honor, Cesaro for that. Like end of the night, fucking Gresham, I am the champ, or Bandito, but probably Gresham. Lights out Cesaro. Like, that'll get people talking. That'll get people watching Ring of Honor. If you can get, like, a Cesaro name, it fits Ring of Honor, obviously, from his past.
Did Claudio ever win the actual Ring of Honor champion? Yeah, because that's a story you can tell as well. It's like,
like I could have gone anywhere. I'm fucking Cesaro. But I came here because I have some unfinished business. That title right there.
Actually, he's not Cesaro.
Claudio Castagnoli. Shut up.
It'd be Claudio Castagnoli, probably.
Antonio Castagnoli.
I didn't read the article, but I did hear that he potentially trademarked a different name, so maybe he comes back as something different. Like
I didn't read that, but that'd be cool.
Maybe it's like a Buddy Murphy thing where he just combines two things.
Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of that, why did you stick with Buddy? Could you, especially in the House of Black and you're a badass, could you get a better ass name, please?
Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy.
Buddy.
It sounds like a Cartoon Network, like hey buddy.
He doesn't even have a cool last name. It's Matthews.
No, yeah, it's a plain
like
last name and like a silly first name.
It's good. I think it's because he's supposed to like combine. His real name is Matthew. I think it's Matt. So I think it's just a combination of two. But yeah. I don't know. It doesn't instill fear in like in a faction that's supposed to be very dark and menacing. But
yeah. I think that's why Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. His son his name is Owen.
Yeah, and he's also like a huge fan of like Owen.
Huge Hart. Owen. Huge Owen.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, you lost me. My cousin Kevin. That's not his real last name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
Why is he at Christmas dinner every year? I'm so confused.
Stop inviting him for free food.
He's hungry.
Also, next time he's coming over, can you get an autograph for me?
Yeah.
Hey, cousin Kevin, that's another autograph.
Don't say it like that. Tell him to your best friend Jacob.
People always ask every Christmas.
Can you ask him to investigate who actually threw the pie at his face? I feel like
someday we'll find out.
Also, could you tell him to wear a better ball cap next time?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Please. Oh, like, did you? I know we're just rambling now. Did you guys see Taz comment on that about them faking out? And he was like, "Yeah, but we just did it like 3 weeks ago at Revolution with Don Callis coming out, and it was supposed to be Omega." I'm like, I saw it on the Cultaholic YouTube channel brought it up for they do these news stories every morning, and they were reporting on it, and I'm like, that's like a common wrestling thing that everyone does, and who cares if you did it 3 weeks ago?
I guarantee there was not a moment in the WWE writers' room they're like, "Oh shit, you see what they pulled? Let's take it." Like, nah, dude, it's a trope. It happens.
You know who did it first? Well, I thought Shawn Michaels did it with Bret Hart like years ago.
And I'm sure someone did it 12 times before that. Like, yeah, like you can. It reminds me of like every once in a while I'll have like an indie friend that's like, "Man, the guy on TV's doing my finisher. He probably saw, motherfucker. No one saw a clip of your indie match. Like, it's stop acting like they stole from you. No, they didn't."
There's only a certain amount of finishes you can do too.
No, that sounds like that's a very petty. Like, oh, they took our thing. Like, no, it's a trope. It happens.
Yes, some unfortunate news. Recently with the passing of Scott Hall, one Razor Ramon, as he was known in the WWE, passed away very, very suddenly. I don't think anybody. Obviously, he's had his issues, but I don't think anybody expected. He was only 63. He's younger than my grandma when my grandma passed away. So very, very young. 63. So yes, unfortunate. What are you guys' thoughts when you think of Scott Hall, Razor Ramon? Like, what's the first thing that comes to you guys?
Honestly, I just think yeah. I think cool. He's there's certain wrestlers that maybe persons trying to make cool, but he just had it. He's the guy you kind of wanted to be. He was cool. He was a badass and he was cool. Like there's that sort of I think it was on Nitro. And there was a thing where some from the crowd, some accurate fucker like threw a drink at him, hit him right square in the head, and he just sort of gelled. He just went along with it and used it as hair gel. Like that is such swagger. That is so cool. Like,
he's a man that made millions of kids around the world instantly ask their parents, "Where's the nearest toothpick?" Because I want to be, I want to be him, having a toothpick in my mouth, chucking at kids. He literally oozed machismo. It's part of his gimmick, but he did, man. Like, it's a gimmick that I think in different hands we wouldn't be talking about it. Obviously, the year 2022, a gimmick that debuted in '92, but we are, because he made it work. Continue to make it work in WCW when he was Scott Hall. I remember that moment of my brother coming in being like, "We got to tune on Nitro," and I'm like, "Why? We're a WWF household. We don't watch Nitro." But like, just seeing him on there, and we were instantly hooked and caring because now Scott Hall was on WCW television and whatnot. And of course, the ladder matches. Everyone talks about Mania. I also watched the hell out of their SummerSlam rematch like a year later. In the ladder match, Shawn and Razor, another great match there. And they're both faces there. There's a good example of face kind of working. So yeah, definitely a legend, man. Starting in the AWA, former tag team champions with Kurt Hennig, who of course go on to be Mr. Perfect, 4-time Intercontinental Champion, held the WCW tag titles 7 times. Mostly with Kevin Nash as the Outsiders as well as the Giant, the United States Champion, TV Champion in WCW, and then even back in 2010, a little over 10 years ago, with Kevin Nash and Eric Young, and kind of a Freebird rule, a TNA Tag Team Champion for a little while as well.
Yeah. Austin had this said he reffed a bunch of Cody Hall matches in Orlando years ago. Scott came to watch occasionally and was always cool.
Yeah, man. When Cody was training, I'd see all the time. I have a lot of friends that were training in the same time in that Orlando area, and yeah, he was very heavily involved when Cody was training, and he would be over that Orlando school a lot.
He also, we shouldn't forget, supposedly, and he's the one that came up with Sting's. Came up with the idea of Sting's crow gimmick. He asked Sting if he'd seen the crow, but yeah, so.
Yeah, there's several stories like that where like he's the guy behind like a cool idea here, a cool idea there. Definitely seemed like he had a cool mind for like, oh, this would be really cool, or let's try this, you know what I mean? And yeah, there's several of that. One of the big reasons why they decided to put 1-2-3 Kid over, he liked Shawn and whatnot. A smaller kid that like maybe they wouldn't have given a shot to if it wasn't for the blessing of Razor and whatnot, and you can thank him for that.
Yeah. I think his match with Stone Cold from WrestleMania 18 I thought was really solid, and
his last Mania match. Yeah.
And he knows how to sell a stunner. That was his selling of the stunner was like it rivaled the Rock's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen the match in a bit, but I remember the stunner sell. Like that does stick out to me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wish I watched more of him. All I watched of him was because I was very young when he was, at his peak. So in '92 I was 2 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
So everything I know about him is just matches that I've watched, going back. So I didn't get to. I mean, I was a WCW kid, but again, I was young, in the '90s. I didn't turn 10 until 2000. So the NWO, while I can go back and watch it, it's not something that's super fresh in my mind. I don't go back to I recognize that the NWO was a vital part in wrestling history, and I realize that Scott Hall is a big piece of that. But I don't have the memories of growing up with him like some others do. Unfortunately, he's not a person that I've gone back and watched a lot of. I've watched the ladder matches. I've watched, some of his NWO stuff, but not enough. So I don't want to say that it took him passing away for me to get more invested, but hearing all these tributes, seeing all these clips, it's like, yeah, maybe I am missing out.
No, man, yeah, when you can, check it out, man. Those ladder matches, him and Owen Hart in the finals of the '94 King of the Ring, some really good stuff. And if you want to jump ahead to like TNA, did some good stuff with Jeff Jarrett, one-on-one matches there. There's some good stuff to behold. His AWA stuff, check out a tag title match with him and Kurt Hennig. It's a lot of cool stuff to catch up on.
I also think we should we owe a lot of credit to DDP for I feel like he because obviously Scott Hall had his demons, but I think that DDP helped very much prolong Scott Hall's life, and it gave him a new lease on life. So I think that I think we need to give credit there. And also Scott Hall, I believe. I mean, I haven't gone through and sort of ranked them or anything, but I think Scott Hall had one of the best Hall of Fame speeches of all time. I generally, I think it's one of the. It's not long, and it's very poignant, and it's really good speech.
Yeah, and it's great. You can tell he was a man that was kind of reformed from DDP, and even the helps of Jake Roberts, who helped to turn himself around prior to that. You can tell, there are some sad moments of Scott Hall, like independent shows before that transformation. I mean, obviously being barely like coherent and whatnot. But silver lining is, these last few years, he was there, and he was completely there for his family, and you could, like, the Hall of Fame speech is wonderful. Of course, the famous last line and the entire thing, as you said.
Well, also a former, this might be, Scott Hall's a former Juggalo Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion.
Yeah, did a lot of shows for JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. One of his last matches, 2009. Him, Sid Vicious, Corporal Robinson, and the Insane Clown Posse winning a 10-man tag. His last match would be in TNA in 2010 with Eric Young defeating Matt Morgan in a handicap match.
Okay.
Not a bad career. I think he did pretty well for himself. I'm glad he got some of those demons under control. And DDP, you are a saint.
Yeah.
Even thinking about what he did with Jake Roberts too, DDP, just building off that, like, the man cares, and it shows. And I'm glad Scott Hall was able to get the help from DDP that he obviously needed.
I believe DDP's helping Buff Bagwell at the moment. So he's doing it. He's doing a lot.
Yeah. No, just in general, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the DP yoga is a great system. It's also just a great motivational as well. It's helped guys even on a lesser degree, like a Jericho or a Foley. You know what I mean? Jericho said it's helped him add years to his career. It's helped make Foley move around a little bit better. And in general, it does seem like DDP is generally looking out for some of his guys, and even besides wrestlers too. DDP's been a source of inspiration for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, yes, rest in peace, Scott Hall. Enjoy that heavenly Royal Rumble. It's getting crowded now.
Yes. Shout out to him, his family, all his loved ones, his friends. Nice words by Kevin Nash that'll make you tear up. If you look that up.
Yeah, let's not read it on.
And
look it up. I don't want to cry.
No, I will cry. My last words will be say hi to my mother, Scott Hall, because she always thought you were the hottest. She always had a crush on you.
Yes. Made being the bad guy cool.
Yes. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Someone had to say it.
Yeah.
We got to end the show now, right? Because I don't feel like we can.
I don't think.
We usually go longer, but like, how do we bounce back from that?
Right. Yeah. So let's end it there. We'll just rest in peace to a wonderful wrestler, a wonderful character, and I'm sure a wonderful human being. Check out Jordan everywhere he's at. Pierce Wrestling, Real Wrestling in Florida. He does that too. And Richie, if there's any movie trivia, wrestling trivia, or discussions about movies or wrestling, Richie most likely will be there because he's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on most of the channels you guys are on most of the time. So yes.
That's been Richie. That's been Jordan. I always get that wrong, and I'm still Jacob. And thanks for watching, and keep talking about wrestling.